The title of my research project is a sequential comparative analysis of pharmaceutical pollution in metropolitan Georgia and Hangzhou, China water systems. To revisit my research question, it's how do concentrations of pharmaceuticals compare between wastewater treatment plants in a metropolitan city and a surrounding county in Georgia, and how do these concentrations compare to those in Hangzhou, China? For my research design, I decided to conduct a mixed methodology, which included a systematic review and an experimental design. The specific type of mixed methodology that was used is a sequential design, which involves data collection and data analysis of one component to be taken place after the data collection and analysis of the other, and one depending on the outcomes of the other. So the specific research project that was used in order to synthesize with the experimental design was performed by Chen, Li, and Zhu in 2012. To scope this project, the study was specifically a pharmaceutical study based on urbanization, and it analyzed 13 different pharmaceuticals in Hangzhou, which is a metropolitan city, and Linan County, which is a very close surrounding county. So this research project analyzed 5 different hospitals, 2 wastewater treatment plants, and the Qiantang River, which lies in the Hangzhou metropolitan area. So hospitals numbered 1 through 4 were located in Hangzhou, as well as wastewater treatment plant 2, while wastewater treatment plant 1 was located in Linan County along with hospital 5. So the different pharmaceuticals that were analyzed in this study include antibiotics, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, liquid regulating agents, and beta-blocking drugs. So the wastewater treatment plant influent and effluent were sampled using composite sampling techniques, which involved taking various samples over intervals during a 24-hour period, while the samples from hospital effluent and the Qiantang River were sampled using grab sampling, which involves collecting all the samples at one time. This was also the method that was used in order to collect samples from the 2 wastewater treatment plants located in Georgia, due to the limitation of not being able to collect various samples over intervals. And the technique that was used to extract the compounds from the samples that were taken in these locations was ultra-high performance liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry, which is a chemistry technique that combines the physical separation of liquid chromatography with the analysis of mass spectrometry, so it allows for a more specific concentration to be found. So going into the procedure and testing process that was used for the experimental design portion of the project, a drug and pharmaceutical test kit was purchased from Simple Water, which includes the discovery of 22 different pharmaceuticals, 5 of which align with the Hangzhou study, which these pharmaceuticals fall under the category of antibiotics and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So for the planning process of the procedure, different wastewater treatment plants in Georgia were analyzed based on their plant capacity, which is the amount of water that's treated at a location in terms of millions of gallons per day. So a simple proportion was created comparing the wastewater treatment plants that were tested in the Hangzhou study with those in Georgia, in order to find a proportional wastewater treatment plant to the ones that were analyzed in Hangzhou. So this allowed me to focus in on 2 different locations, including Sutton Wastewater Reclamation Facility, which corresponds to wastewater treatment plant 2, and Northwest Wastewater Reclamation Facility, which corresponds to wastewater treatment plant 1. These were the 2 sampling sites that were used for the experimental design. So the technique that is used at the company Simple Water in order to extract concentrations from samples is a high-performance liquid chromatograph with an ultraviolet multi-wavelength detector. So this involves a solid phase extraction using a filter disc, and the concentrations are then passed through the disc, which allows for the solvent to concentrate, and the high-performance liquid chromatograph separates and analyzes the compounds. And these were tested at Quality Filter Testing Laboratory, which is located in Williamstown, New Jersey. So the sampling techniques that were used in order to collect the samples at the two facilities were grab samples conducted from Sutton Wastewater Reclamation Facility and Northwest Wastewater Reclamation Facility. The researcher washed their hands thoroughly and wore nitrile gloves in order to collect the samples, and the bottles were filled without flushing the sample preservation reagent and then delivered to the testing site in order for extraction to occur. And following the results of the data, this was compared and synthesized with the data from the Hangzhou study in order to achieve results.